Welcome back, folks, to the Jimmy O Show. A very happy Jimmy O Show following Tulane's monumental and impressive victory at Memphis. Always a great place to win a football game. Not always an easy place to win a football game, but a great place. And particularly this season, great timing and great just sort of the whole thing, like the circumstances, the how big the game was, and it was awesome to see the green wave rise to the moment. And of course, none of it would have been possible without the guys that are here on this call. We are joined, very pleased to be joined by the offensive, defensive, and special teams players of the week and job takers of the week, as guests of the or as fans of the Jimmy O Show, or at least people that tune in, fans of the Tulane players and people that tune in and put up with me. No, the job takers are the scout team players of the week, for getting the team ready for Memphis, and of course, players of the week speaks for itself. So I'm going to kind of roll through the list and say who's here, and then we'll get started. I'm pleased to be joined by not only the Tulane Offensive Player of the Week, but the Conference Offensive Player of the Week, the guy who just absolutely lit up Memphis all night long, Jake Retzlaff. Jake, how you doing?
I'm great. Good to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, man, happy to have you. And look, he couldn't be joined without one of his compatriots, a solid Green Wave, everything that it means to be a Tulane Green Wave player, making huge catches over the middle, dig routes, over routes, doing it all. Bryce Bohanon, how you doing, Bryce?
Doing good. Thank you for having me.
Got it, man. Thank you for joining us. And then when we flip to the other side of the ball, we have the man who was a wrecking machine, a single digit wrecking machine all night long. Defensive player of the week, Cam Hamilton. Cam, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Thank you for having me here.
So happy to have you. And we may or may not be joined by his co-defensive player of the week, Sam Howard. Sam, of course, fought through some pretty significant stuff to be on the field to lead the team, and very proud to have Sam there. If he jumps in, we'll get him going as well. And then a guy who's making a real habit of joining us, and I gotta say, pretty impressive after the performance of Alec, um, after the performance that we had from Alec Clark, but TJ Smith once again, the
They go
special
CT.
team player of the week. How you doing, TJ?
I'm good. How are
Hi.
you doing?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it says Keith Domino. Is that Sam? Is that
That's
you?
that's Sam. That's Sam Howard right there.
Okay,
Hi.
got it. Sam, how you doing, buddy?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, man, we already did the introduction, but we're just getting started. We didn't even get to the job takers yet. Thanks for joining us. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm great, man. Good to see all my guys on here. Even though y'all
Well,
can't see because of this computer.
yeah, it's all right, man. It's all right. We can hear you. That's good enough. That's gonna have to be good enough for us, man. We're all right with that. Um, we got to see plenty of you on Friday night, thankfully. Um, and of course, now we go over to the job takers of the week. A guy who joined us last season. Great to have him back. The Wolf, Leo Wulffraat. How you doing, Leo?
Doing good. Thank you for having me on again.
Great, offensive lineman extraordinaire. Great to have you. And then Josh Shims is our special teams job taker of the week. How you doing, Josh? Uh, first time guest. Great to have you, Josh. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
Great. And of course, my friend. I'm still struggling, Mike. Although I hope you took my advice and used that line on the ladies about pronouncing it. But Michael Igbinoghene. I don't know if I got it right, Igbo, but
Igbinoghene. It's
it,
good. Close enough. Close
yeah,
enough. That's good.
we'll get there, man. You get
Yeah.
Ordino, I'll get that, man. We'll get on the same page one sooner or later. You make it in this habit of being here. I gotta show you respect. Get the pronunciation right. But
Sure.
you listen to me talk. Even though I talk for a living as a lawyer, I stumble over words all the time. So I try to go as few syllables as possible when I talk to a jury, which I find is very helpful because you know they're lay people and it works better. I try
Yeah.
not. I've never been confused with somebody who tries to sound too smart when he talks. Um. So, all right. Well, let's talk about Memphis, guys. hell of an environment, hell of stakes, man. Right? Like they come in. Everybody's got them in the college football playoff bracket, the highest ranked they were kind of pegged as the fifth conference champion. Um, and man, we just took it to them from the jump. And so I kind of want to start there. And Sam, maybe I'll come to you um, to lead us off the bat. Like, how important was it taking the feel that we were going to bring the fight to them, sort of just kind of hit them right away, playing with a high level of intensity and just sort of, you know, enthusiasm for playing that game Friday because we came out ready to play.
It definitely was in the preparation. The intensity was high all week. We knew it was personal. Bo can attest to this. Cam can attest to this. Like last year, even Leo can attest to this. Last year, like they ruined our season last year, and this one, I'm gonna be honest, this one was circled on the calendar a year ago. But not only that, but like we knew our backs were against the wall, and like, hey, it's now or never. Like either the wave gonna show up or the season's gonna be over. It's gonna be all she wrote. And I think guys honed in on that and took it personal all week, and we got the result we wanted.
Yeah, no doubt. And we'll kick it to Leo because Leo, that's a perfect segue. It's like winning a football game on a Friday night or a Saturday, whenever it might be. It ain't about the 3.5 hours of that game. It's about all of the hours of the preparation that went into it. Leo, was it something like Sam said? This was one we were looking forward to all year long, and kind of had this one circled for not that you ever don't give max effort, but just for a little something special in the prep this week.
Yeah, it was a fun game. Like in the scout team meetings, we always try to be competitive and bring the energy, but this week was a big one. Everyone's kind of trying to be their best to make sure that we can like sharpen the iron as much as possible before Friday. So it was really exciting to get out there and just get the defense as angry as possible, frustrated, make them try to start fighting us and stuff like that. Just try to get the competitive juices flowing early so they're ready on Friday.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Cam, did he was he successful? Was Leo get to you, man, and get you throwing punches in practice, or were you able to maintain your composure?
Um, he did good. He was tough. He was tough. I give him that. And he was trash talking a lot of guys last week too. Yeah.
Well, look, but that's what I hear about Memphis. So, the rep on Memphis was who was telling us last week. I think it was Santana. He's like, look, man, they'll line up. They know what's coming, and they just talking to you. They chirping that you're not gonna be able to stop us. We had a little something special for them though, because I'm gonna say you and your friends up front lived in that backfield all night long. Were they chirping, and did they shut up by the second half?
Um, yeah. We figuring them out. You know. We learned from last year. We dominated the whole game. It wasn't just the second half. We dominated the whole game. They couldn't stop us. They couldn't stop us front and everything. Like we doing everything we had.
Yeah, I look. I mean, the biggest contrast that you saw in the ball game, and I mean, Jake had a performance for the ages, but so much of that had to do with what his boys did up front, and sort of like the biggest contrast. You had to describe one thing that made the difference in the game when you compare what one team did and versus the other is Tulane lived in the backfield of Memphis all night long. I mean, it was penetration. It wasn't necessarily big blitz. It was 4 or 5 man, mostly 4, some 5-man rush stuff. But you guys just won those matchups over and over again. Whereas, man, Jake, I thought he could read a novel back there. Some of the pockets those boys were giving him. Just Jake, I guess kick it to you for that, man. How about hats off to those boys up front for what they were able to do in terms of protection for you all night long.
Yeah, the term we like to use is I could have had a smoke and a Coke back there, just hanging out. But the O-linemen played their butts off. We knew it was gonna be one of those weeks where I could kind of be back there and be comfortable. This team, they were not a high pressure team. They like to drop 8. And so when you drop 8, you know it's not going to be too high stress for the O-line. But regardless, like they took care of business, and they took care of business great on stuff like play action and stuff like that. But the they took care of business up front, but more importantly, the challenge when you play a drop eight team is can those guys get open downfield? And obviously, we got the guy who went over 100 on this call right now, Bryce. He balled out, obviously, but man, it was fun to see those guys run down the field open. Man, it makes your job easy as a quarterback when you're sitting back there with plenty of time and you got guys running open downfield. It's just about putting it on them and letting them go do their thing. So that was my job on game on Friday night, not Saturday, but Friday night, and they made it easy for me.
Right. All you boys are really young, so you won't remember. But Michael Irvin was always famous for going across the middle. He's on that deep dig, and he's going to take a punishment. And of course, luckily, he can't get hit like that anymore. But those big receivers going over the middle. Bryce is not going to be confused for the playmaker in terms of stature. But man, I mean, dude, I was so impressed with. There was a throw in there where it looked 8-man coverage. It was deep. You had a very small window to fit it in. Bryce knew he was going to get hit. It was a dig for first down. It was probably 18-yard or so completion. Just knowing that 83 is going to secure the catch even under the toughest circumstances got to make your life and your job a whole lot easier, huh, Jake?
Yeah, I know, man. On those situations where I might get heated up and windows might be smaller, I know 83 is going to make the catch. Like you said, man, it makes my job easier. It allows me to play a lot more free when I know I can third down or, one of those catches you're talking about was a third down situation where they kind of brought a five-man pressure but dropped the linebacker over the middle. I knew Bryce was going to win on the little in route he had, the in breaker about 10 yards. And, I just put it out there and I knew Bryce going to catch it. As long as I get this ball to him, he's going to catch it because he's going to break off the route and he's going to catch it. But, I mean, that just goes to show the progression, man. It's crazy to think that I've known this guy, Bryce Bohanon, for what, 3 months? Like, that is an insane fact of where we're at because it doesn't feel like that the way we play on the field, man. This guy and I are connected in a lot of great ways, and we're getting more connected every week.
Yeah, there's that. Well, and I want to stay on that, and Bryce, come to you on that. I mean, I think a great example is first drive, second half. There's a long completion of Bryce on a deep over, right? Bryce and look, that's a pass completion. A lot of times, the post from the other side kind of pulls the safeties, and your guy, you're coming deep over, and that catches something between the numbers in the sideline. But on that, where the coverage was, it was kind of like a little bit of it felt like just y'all knowing each other, where the catch was a little bit tighter, a little bit closer to the hash. Jake fit it in there, and then like you took it, I think it was a 35, 40-yard completion. Is that just something that comes as a result of the relationship, kind of getting to know each other, kind of understanding timing of each other a little bit better from a very close 3 months, we'll say?
Yeah, like Jake was saying, I mean, for us to have this type of connection that we've been on and only known each other for 3 months it's been insane. And we're gonna continue to just grow, build that relationship with one another. And I mean, I know what he's thinking, he knows what I'm thinking. So when we see, I mean, opportunities like that, we gotta take them in. I mean, we just both made the best of that opportunity.
Yeah. Now flip it. I want to kind of talk to some of these guys, and it's going to be about an offensive play. But Igbo, I want to bring you into the conversation. Our scout team, great defensive back, gives a lot of good work to you, Bryce, and challenging the passing game. First play of the game, you see us in 12 and lined up and uh the play action shot. Did you see it on the snap? Did you see it pre-snap that we were going to get the look we wanted for the big play to Shaz, or was it not as obvious to those who are watching? I mean, because that was obviously a huge play and great way to start the game. Igbo, what you think?
Oh no,
Could you
most
see it?
definitely. Oh yes, sir. Most definitely I did. Jake and the guys, Bo, they've been working hard. They worked hard, really hard that whole week, and it's our job as obviously a scout team players to give a great look. And it was just amazing to see on that first play. It had me hyped, man. I was on the sideline just cheering on my guys, man. It's just great to see the hard work that they put in just on the field. And, it obviously showed. It was one of our best games of the season. Obviously we got to carry that momentum throughout the season. And I'm just glad I was able to give the guys a good look. And obviously they were able to connect and make big plays.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I mean, just the cover on something like that where Jake makes the post throw. Jake, I knew you had a good arm, dude, but like all the way across field, giving Shaz the big run all the way to the outside on the other side of the field. Not a lot of defensive backs are going to be able to make that run with a receiver and make the play. And just you could kind of see it as soon as he released it that it was money. It was going to be there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, his release off the line, I mean, That first play, it's worth not even you don't even got to watch the rest of the clip. You just watch his release off the line of scrimmage, and you can skip forward about 10 seconds and know he's going to be in the end zone. He burnt him bad, man, and he burnt him bad, and Shad's been going against good DBs in practice, and I think a lot of times he's going against better DBs in practice than he is in the games, and that's what helps these guys out with Igbo giving those looks. Like these guys are giving us tough looks, and big reason why Igbo got this award this week is because he was playing that middle position that was kind of like hard for us to read, and he gave a great look of it, and I'll tell you what, it was easy. Like he made it harder to see looks than the guy in the game did. And so like because they're doing stuff like that, it makes our job so much easier. It makes it look like, it's easier when practice is harder than the game. You got a good team around you because you got guys like Igbo making giving you those kind of looks. Like he cares enough about what he's doing to give us those looks where, guys can take days off on scout team, but and Josh Sims on this call too, man, for special teams, but he does it on the defense side of the ball too. Like great job by being those guys. Those two both playing the safety kind of positions is, one's nickel, one's safety. They're always giving us that different look where we don't know what it's going to be. Those guys are interchangeable. And so that's what it was on game day, except I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot clearer on game day. And that's why we had so much success.
Yeah, I mean, look, three high safety look, right? That's kind of like how they want to play you. Whereas a Tulane, our spear positions. More, I mean, Javion's a corner for the most part, but like three high safety, and they're interchangeable, and they're moving them. You try to do things through formation and personnel to make them sort of declare, but you know, to your point, the job these guys did was like that's hard to replicate, right? That's hard to if that's not what you do in your normal practice. It's hard to pull off in a week. And all the credit to you boys, Josh and Igbo and the rest of the crew back there to get that done. So, Josh, let's talk about that, man. You did the great work on defensive special teams, but you're here for job taker of the week on special teams. So tell us what your role was and what the focus of your work was all throughout the week.
I was playing the number one spot on punt team on their show punt, and just giving the look of the guy who made the most plays on their special teams, and make sure I gave them a good look every time I went out there to simulate the game. So when the game came, it was easy, And obviously I worked hard in practice, so then in the game it wasn't nothing for real. So
Yeah, awesome, man. And now where's the number one spot? Is that like a gunner or is that in the interior?
it was in the interior. So I would just
Okay.
give a little jab release outside to run straight down the field. Because on film, he would do that, and he would always make the plays. And this past Friday, he didn't make any. So
Nice. That's awesome, man. You got to take a lot of pride in that, right? Like knowing, like, hey, man, this is my role this week. This is what I'm prepping. And when you see the performance of your team, like you said, guy make plays all the time on film, but didn't make plays against us. That's you, right? That's your work, and it's give you a little bit extra pride for what you were able to contribute there.
yep.
Absolutely. Awesome. Now, TJ, man, while we're talking about special teams, let's talk about you and always doing work as a gunner, covering kicks and all that. And so just look, Memphis is dangerous. So much of our success all season long has been the field position. When you look at the statistics nationally, starting field position for us, starting field position for the opponents are both in our favor big time. And so much of it has to do with kick coverage. And with Alec kicking it the way he was, man, it wasn't always an easy cover. It was always I always get accused of out kicking my coverage when people see my wife, right? Like but that phrase has a reason. There's a reason for that phrase because it, oftentimes on punts, if you punt it too far, the coverage can't get down there and it leads a big return. Memphis didn't get that with you and the boys running down. So take us through that. What was sort of the keys to our success in the punt game on Friday night?
In the punt game, we just stick with the game plan, and as I line up, I just go out there and want to dominate everybody in front of me. So I had that mindset of whoever's in front of me, I'm gonna beat them. So no matter how far Alec is kicking it downfield, I'm gonna use my speed and I'm gonna get down there and make the tackle every time.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we saw it, man, and you've been doing an outstanding job with that position all season long. And a game like that, I mean, look, it ends up being a 6-point game. I mean, although we dominated them on a lot of places, it didn't. to their credit, they've kept fighting and they made it a close game. 130-yard return, 140-yard return there, could totally change the game. And, just being on point all night long and changing the field position when we needed to, man. The punter gets a lot of credit for the leg, but it doesn't mean anything unless you and the boys are doing the job getting down and covering. So awesome job on Friday. And Sam, kind of like taking it full circle, man, didn't know if you were going to make it onto the field. You were able to make it on the field, and I know you had a little scare in there, but just sort of, how fired up were you? We were talking about the pass rush earlier, but how fired up were you to kind of see the work that those boys up front were doing all night long in front of you, just absolutely wreaking havoc?
Man, it was amazing to see because, like Leo was saying, all week in practice, our scout team was pissing everybody off. To be honest, like we were brawling like every other play. Like you got to break it up every play. So just that's a testament to the scout team, man, and Mason Lambert, getting those guys, Zane, Pete, all those guys, getting those guys ready to come after us, man. So that's a testament to them. And also, like, I'm looking at this stats from the game, like the way Makai Williams played in that game, man. I was very proud of him, man. 10 total tackles, 1.5 TFL. Like, come on, man. Like Chris Rogers, like,
right.
Man, the way he smacked guys around, like, I honestly don't think it's a running back that can block this man when he's blitzing, man. We at top speed, seriously. But
right.
But yeah, our box. I was very proud of the box. Like I said,
dude. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry. Yeah, no, I mean, I wanted to follow up on that point, though, man. Sam, when we look at it, so much of last year's game was the different. A big part of that game was the success their running backs had, not only running the ball at us, which we absolutely contained all night long. I mean, three-headed monster, whatever, totally shut them down in the run game, but they were so successful catching the ball, making a guy miss, and extending drives, right? Catch it in the flat, make a guy miss 10 yards here, 12 yards there, and they just possess the ball so well. I mean, to me, that when I talked before the game in our pregame show, I was like, look, what I'm worried about is that factor because, I knew if we got the ball back to Jake and the guys, we were going to score. But, could they control the game with the athleticism at that position? And, man, Makai, Chris, you, when you were in there, we even saw Dallas Winter Johnson in the game later. Like, I mean, just incredible job just containing those guys, shutting them down. And really, I thought bringing the fight to them kind of made them less enthusiastic about playing with some of the hits they were sustaining.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I mean, look, dude, just incredible job. I mean, look, I thought that was a huge factor of the game was the physicality. Yeah, Jake. I mean, look, Jake and the receivers making them pay and just big chunk play after big chunk play, absolutely huge. But I thought the physicality, particularly after last season's game with them, where I thought at times they seemed like the more physical team, I thought was a difference, and you saw it from the jump, right, Jake? I mean, you saw it. You watched the defense play. You saw it from the jump that our boys were there to bring the fight to the opponent. And that's what you need in a big-time game, man. Like, the more physical team wins most of these games, at least, unless you do something really dumb, and we didn't do that. So, just awesome job, guys. I can go on forever and ever, but I know everybody's got school work and all that, and I feel like we had a pretty good visit. So I'm gonna stop with the questions there. Y'all just hang on for 1 second while I do a little business and just remind people that this show is free. And we love bringing it to you and love to expose our great student athletes. As you can see, they're great ambassadors at Tulane University, but they need your support. We are doing as a collective. We are encouraging all of our subscribers to make year-end make a difference. That means get in touch with the Green Wave Fund, the Green Wave Talent Fund, and make your year-end giving make a difference in terms of NIL and student revenue sharing initiatives. Tulane can help you with that, and then of course support our collective by subscribing to the network and getting all the behind the scenes content at fearthewavecollective.com. Every bit counts, every eyeball counts. We can't wait. I know I can't wait. I know these guys really can't wait to a sold out Ullman Stadium on Saturday against FAU. Come out there, come ready to party. Jake assures me that the offense will have lots of fireworks for you to enjoy throughout the homecoming game, and of course the defense will bring the intensity, bring the hits, and we're looking forward to a great performance. So guys, thank you so much for joining us here on the Jimmy O Show. It was a pleasure as always having you, and until next time, roll wave.
Believe.
Oh, wave. Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you for
Roll
having
wave.
me.
Roll away.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, boys.
Yes, sir. Have a good week.
You, man.